Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Welcome once again. So, today we'll learn about the major transits of 2025. And as you know, whenever there's a major transit like this happening, so a lot of information is dispersed and it's like a planetary conference. So, these are the time frames for when the Saturn will enter Pisces on March 29, Jupiter will enter Gemini on May 15th, Rahu will enter Aquarius on May 18th, and after that all the fun will happen. So now let's move on to see what happens to all the zodiac signs.
Okay, so see, for every ascendant or moon sign, there's a very key word over here. And why I'm saying keyword is because we have a joint aspect of Jupiter and Saturn on certain houses, and for Cancer people, it's in the sixth house because Jupiter is looking at it with seventh drishti, and Saturn is looking at it with, well, obviously the 10th drishti. So over here what we can see is that what your chart is trying to tell you, what the planets are trying to tell you right now is that you need to focus on perfecting the aspect related to your daily life. You need to be of service to people. If you can, if you like having pets around you, that's an excellent time to make time for them and to serve them. And also there can be a wish inside you that you want to travel abroad, or you want to go somewhere very far away, like a very good distance away from your own home, and might want to travel there, might want to settle there. These kind of thoughts can come in your mind, but that will not happen until later. Of course, for work many people will be traveling because yeah, because of this transit, but definitely I do see that what you really need to work on, what you need to perfect at this time is your daily routine. And if you are into job, if you are doing a job, or you're doing even a business, or even if you're doing anything like online, you need to be very focused and routine oriented over there. The aspect of 10th aspect of Saturn is one that alleviates all enemies. Okay, so that is a good aspect over here. So at this time you can expect your enemies to slide down. But of course there's the seventh aspect of Jupiter coming. So we'll also talk about, see, the fifth aspect of Jupiter. If there was some work related to your house, or you wanted to buy some assets, or you wanted to buy some property or vehicles, you might see that this is happening around this time. Okay, you can set that in motion, and you will see that things are automatically happening, like it happened for Taurus ascendant people when Jupiter was transiting in Aries some years ago, like some time before. I saw a lot of them, making progress in their home life, like they were starting to build a home. And of course this is a Saturn year, and many of them got completion on that aspect. So you might get benefit from vehicles and traveling and all of those things also. Okay, and of course, how can we forget the eighth house? Rahu is placed in the eighth house, so maybe you're definitely watching this video because you will be attracted to the occult. You will be attracted towards astrology. Of course, if you're watching this right now, you already are, because Rahu will be transiting Aquarius not very quickly into 2025. It's in the around middle of 2025, but the effects can be felt much before. Okay, so that is one thing that you will be able to see that there's a pull towards that. And we also need to check where your Rahu is placed in the original sign. But definitely I can sense there will be progress in your life the coming year. I mean, when Jupiter will actually travel to your Lagna, where it actually gets exalted, you will see the most benefits. But of course there are some people who will say that there are some negative effects also. Of course there are some negative effects. With every positive comes negative, with negative comes positive. But you need to know what can happen and what cannot happen, so that you can take precautions for them. That is all, you need to make the best use of every kind of transit, every kind of situation. So here what the situation is coming towards is that there can be some sort of things with the in-laws over here, okay. And yeah, definitely one most important thing that I wrote in the first point is that you need to take care of your finances, okay, because at this time Saturn is giving its third aspect in your 11th house. At the same time, Ketu is transiting over your second house in your house of food, finances, family, and your home life, and your, of course, the 11th house is also getting affected by Saturn. So you need to be very careful when making investment decisions, even if you happen to get some gains, because Rahu is very comfortable in the sign of Aquarius. Even if you happen to come across some gains in your life now, then also you need to make a very rational decisions with that. Like, don't splurge on the money, make investments for the future, and try to save the money. And be, if you are not able to think, because if you're having transits like this, then there's a possibility that you will not be able to get the right guidance, okay. So what you need to do is you need to start asking people around. You need to get advice from other people about how to invest your money, about how to make future long-term decisions. If you're making long-term gains plans, then Saturn will support you and you don't need to worry about anything. Also try to segregate, like if you win a lump sum amount, try to segregate it into parts and then try to invest it. So that is a lot of things that you're, but you will also, try to feel like that you're not getting that much interest in your daily routines. And that is the challenge over here, because see, Ketu is also aspecting your sixth house, and here we also have Jupiter that is aspecting your sixth house, and Saturn is aspecting your sixth house. So you will naturally not feel like getting disciplined. You will actually feel very detached in your daily life. But that is where the challenge is. So that is where you have to be really focused. And discipline is something like which we don't like, but we have to do it. And you need to make that commitment. If you pass this test, there will be some really good fruits, some outcomes, some rewards rather, which Jupiter and Saturn are going to give you. So yeah, make the best use of it, and try to make this time very favorable for you, okay. To understand this placement, for Leo Lagna, we have to first understand Saturn. See, Saturn is a very important planet for Leo Lagna people. It rules your seventh house of spouse and the sixth house of enemies, death, diseases. But here, Saturn is sitting in the eighth house in the sign of Pisces, in a very watery sign, and eighth house is also a very watery place. But you know what, Saturn is very comfortable in the eighth house. It's actually the karaka of the eighth house. Of course, we have to see the sign placement over here, which is the Pisces sign over here, which means a lot of hidden knowledge is over here. But Saturn is going to feel quite content. But here, the dual aspect of Jupiter and Saturn is what we are looking at. Of course, we'll see all the placements, but that is what I'm focusing on right now. Is on the fifth house, okay. So Jupiter is looking with the seventh drishti and Saturn is looking with the 10th aspect, okay. So here we can see many things actually. Your past life deeds will come in the forefront. It's not just about children, it's not just about their studies, as I wrote. Of course those of things will happen, but of course for some people love relationships will bloom, and at this time many will find that they want to get married, and the desire to get married will increase a lot during this time. But you have to be slightly careful. But you know what, the past life deeds, that is what is coming to the forefront over here a lot. And you need to make the best use of this time. You need to start chanting, okay, and doing donations. And of course, yeah, the last point what I wrote about Saturn's third drishti is that you might meet some people who might be very good to you in front of you, but actually they might have some hidden motives, which you will find out as the phase of Rahu is going down. Like when Rahu has a phase of, like, it goes up front, like it gives you a lot of positive effects in the beginning, and in the later part when it is trying to move into Capricorn, it will start giving you some ill effects if you're not able to grasp the concepts, or if you're not able to understand what Rahu is trying to teach you then. But over here, yes, some people you might meet who might have some hidden agenda also at the workplace. And Saturn is looking at your second house from here with its seventh aspect. It's a very direct aspect of Saturn, okay? You need to be very careful with your speech. You need to of course, if you can speak less, because Gemini kind of sign, Virgo it's there, but it's a Mercurian sign, okay? Gemini is placed in the 11th house, it's a Virgo sign, it's a both are uh, Mercurian signs. You might be prone to speaking and speaking fast and speaking well, but over here you have to see many things will depend upon your speech, because we also have Rahu in the seventh house of people, of other people, okay? And whatever you speak will matter a lot at this time, so be very careful about. I think you're going to do quite good when it comes to keeping your secrets, and if you can follow that, then that will be the best time for you. And of course, we have Jupiter in the 11th house in the sign of Mercury, so there can be a little bit of tussle when it comes to gains. Don't try to invest in, don't try to do speculation kind of things at this moment, okay? Some people like to do trading, and some people like to do that kind of investing, and this is not a favorable time for that. I wouldn't suggest that. Some people might disagree, but I don't think that will be a good idea. So overall, your karma, it's coming very much in the forefront, because see, your both fifth house and the 10th house aspected by Saturn is very much active right now. So yeah, it will be a very good time if you can. It's okay, it's one thing to do the remedies, okay, and it's another thing to truly grasp what this time is trying to tell you, trying to teach you. And right now it's just asking you to be very much patient and work on yourself, okay? Rather than, if you focusing on other people at this time, which you will be prone to, you should work on yourself and try to find out what is that thing that you missed doing for yourself. Because Leo Lagna people, these people are very large hearted, and often of course I'm talking about the moon sign also, these people are very, they like to do things for other people instead of themselves. So this is the time, if you can focus on yourself. Of course, I'll suggest that you should also start doing some sort of yoga and all those type, like especially the Kriya yoga, and all of those things will be very, very beneficial for you at this time. And yeah, Leo Lagna people, make the best use of this time, okay? So something very interesting is happening with the Virgo Lagna moon sign people. See, Saturn is placed over here in the 12th sign, of course, but in the 7th house. Saturn is exalted in the 7th house. And Jupiter is placed here where it is not, it doesn't like to be placed in Mercurian signs, but it's placed in Gemini and in the 10th house where it's debilitated. So we have one of the planets which seems to be exalted and one of the planets which seems to be debilitated. It is actually a very good time for you guys, it's a very good time, because see, Jupiter in the 10th house, it's said to improve a lot of, I think Deepika Padukone has Jupiter in Capricorn or in 10th house, I don't know, but it's debilitated in her chart. And people who have this kind of placement, they are often quite ambitious. And this is a very interesting time because all the focus is on your fourth house. For the Virgo Lagna people, there is always some or the other kind of troubles coming in their life, whether it's some family member is there in a disease, or there's some kind of a distortion happening, anything like that. Enemies are troubling them from all sides. I've often found them in these kind of situations, but this is a time of great relief for them, because Rahu is coming in the 6th house and Ketu is coming in the 12th house. So this is a natural Shatruhanta Yoga. Rahu will perform very well, of course, in Aquarius. You need to be very carefree about all of this, because a good time is going to start for you guys. And often Virgo Lagna people, I've seen, they ignore their inner peace, and they are so focused on getting people, their stuff, and are they're worried about people around them more than they're about themselves. So this is going to be a wake up call in that area, because this is the time which wants you to make your own peace a priority. If you're already doing that, that's great, you need to do more of that. But yeah, this time is really seeking, and the more you do that, at this time people will start looking up to you. It's like people will suddenly admire you in a different way, and they are going to be more reliant on you. Saturn is placed in Pisces sign, of course, and from here it will look with its third aspect on your bhagya sthan in the ninth house. So you will find that many of the things will require for you to do a lot of hard work. So in your workspace, or in areas related to where you wanted a little bit of nudge, you might find that yeah, you need to do a lot of hard work now. But definitely you will get the results, and you will have that mindset also where you will want to achieve a lot of things right now. So this is a very good time for you guys. I don't see anything like it will be smooth sailing. You need to make the best use of it. Okay, so yeah.